It's just on
brand new bike shoes. And what did you say? You're going to ride the Rose Bowl?
Yeah,
what?
In Pasadena.
What is that?
It's in Pasadena because that's where my bike shop is.
Well, I know what the Rose Bowl is, but why? How do you ride the Rose?
You ride around it.
That's what bikers do in LA.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you just ride in a big circle around the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm missing that.
Yes, but it doesn't make a sound unless Bob Cesca falls in a forest next to you. It doesn't make a sound.
Yes.
Sean, you missed that. Bob and I went for a bike ride in D.C. and some guy ran him off the road into a ditch. And
oh my God!
He was upside down. I had to save his giant balls because he was stuck in a tree.
She grabbed me by them and yanked me out of the gully.
Listen,
was not a handle.
It was
Stephanie.
a terrifying operation because Bob Cesca's giant package was like we had to try to get his bike out. And he was like, ow, ow! Right.
Said, is this where I grab? Do I grab? And like, no. Okay. Oh, well, wait. This isn't so bad.
You said those aren't pillows.
I'm so glad I crashed now because now I get to be yanked out of the gully by my balls.
Based on her track record, Bob, I'd be happy she didn't use the jaws of life.
Bob is 6'4", and he definitely makes a sound when he falls in the forest. A giant sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sound is ah.
You stupid mother. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Bob.
just like yelling "a-hole" the guy who did it.
Yes. Thank you. By the way, Bob, we're nerds. There's no hearing today. I know we, of course, are sending our love and light to the people in Florida. But, oh, my God, right?
I know, including my friend Buzz Burbank, who's right there in the path.
Yeah, I know.
Of the hurricane.
I know.
Yeah. Fortunately, I think the hurricane is missing Buzz Burbank. I think the hurricane has said, Hurricane Ian is like, you know what? I'm not screwing with Buzz Burbank.
Not America's newsman. No.
Yeah, we're going to shoot into Florida south of Buzz Burbank and spare Buzz Burbank. So I'm going to mention Buzz Burbank a couple more times.
All right. I think
did I mention I'm talking about Buzz Burbank? Yeah.
All right. So I was saying the Bob Cesca rule is just so in effect about Trump always makes things worse for Trump. This $3 million, it's the only person he's ever paid up front. It's the only actual lawyer, right? And the guy, right? He's just, I think this special master thing is not working out the way he thought it would, right? And so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, you can imagine those conversations that Donald Trump has with his attorneys. His attorneys say, well, here's how the rules work. Here's how we do things, in the real world. You take this step and then you take this step and then you have to argue this way. And then you hope that the judge agrees with you and says, no, that's not how it's done. Chris Keiss. I'm going to get Christina Bob back. You better watch out. I'm going to get Mark Kasowitz back here. And so he's constantly threatening, keeping people off balance, refusing to pay them. This is what Donald Trump has always done. He's a pain in the ass to work with. No one wants to work with him.
Yeah.
So he's got to go fishing for whatever lawyers he can find out of the back of the phone book or wherever. So he's getting the best legal representation that will agree to represent him.
Yeah.
And that's not very good.
We just covered in the first segment about, Tucker Carlson and Trump, doing this conspiracy theory about Biden blew up the pipeline. And here's how Russia could retaliate. I mean, they're so actively on Putin's side. It is just astounding. And it just, I couldn't wait to get you on today because, of course, the Edward Snowden thing, I was just like, oh, my God. Bob Cesca and I tried to tell you how long. You just said, right? Matt Gaetz said Joe Biden should pardon Snowden. And you said Republicans support the theft and exposure of national security secrets.
Yeah,
period.
Yeah.
And how long ago how long ago did we say this? That Snowden is a traitor. Okay.
9 years. It's been 9 years. It'll be 10 years coming up this coming up summer in June, I believe it is, when the first story Glenn Greenwald dropped happened. And so this is not surprising to those of us who were following the story closely with a critical eye back in 2013 when especially, and I wrote a piece about this back in 2013 about how as soon as Edward Snowden was shepherded from Hong Kong, where he had a birthday pizza party at the Russian consulate, he was taken by WikiLeaks attorneys. See, all these names are so appropriate now. They have a new patina of weirdness about them after the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And so he's shepherded by WikiLeaks attorneys to Moscow where while, camping out in the Moscow airport, he hires Russian attorney Anatoly Kucherena. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Kucherena. And Anatoly Kucherena was a lawyer for the FSB, for the Russian FSB. And those of us who have been following Trump Russia all along, at the very least watching the Rachel Maddow show, we all know what the FSB is. The FSB is the modern day version of the KGB.
Yeah.
And one of their attorneys is the attorney who represented Edward Snowden in Moscow in 2013 when he was there in the airport. So this is no surprise to any of us that he is being offered Russian citizenship by Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Well, one of your tweets is like Rachel Maddow's opening segment. It goes on and on, but it's very interesting. You said Putin's busy 10 years, Snowden 2013, invasion of Crimea 2014, Trump 2015 to present, Western social media 2015 to present, Brexit 2016, Le Pen 2017 and 2022 unsuccessful, invasion of Ukraine 2022, and just the fact that we continue to have. I don't know what else to call them, but traitors, like Tucker Carlson actively rooting for Putin and Russia over the United States.
Well, when the checks keep clearing, I guess that's why. I think that's, in fact, probably why. And I want to bear in mind, too, that some experts that I've talked to about incorporating Edward Snowden into this timeline of Putin effery, for lack of a better term. I know Malcolm Nance, for example, doesn't necessarily agree that Putin. You know what? Actually, I think Malcolm Nance agrees with me on Putin being part of this timeline of Vladimir Putin screwing with the West. And it kind of makes a lot of sense when you stack that up with what happened in 2014 with the invasion of Crimea right after the Sochi Olympics, and then on and on, Donald Trump in 2015, and continuing on through present day. And so on and so on. This is all part of Vladimir Putin messing with the West and making sure that we're all screaming at each other so that he can soften us up for, more and more disinformation.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so surprised when he invaded Ukraine again.
Yeah.
Because I thought his operation was going to be exclusively what Donald Trump calls the cyber. I thought it was just going to be the cyber. And so
not to be confused,
wrong on that,
not to be confused with the nuclear. The nuclear is
so
important.
Yeah, that's right.
The nuclear is so important to me.
The N-word. It's the N-word. Don't say the N-word.
Oh, my God. Can I just say it was in my morning stack? Trump told guests he wasn't using the same White House toilet as Obama. You understand what I'm talking about. Oh, let me think. It's so subtle. Oh, because he's black guy? Is that what is that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So subtle.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more like that in Maggie Haberman's book.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that stupid book. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's true. You don't have to, because the excerpts are all over the internet.
Yeah.
You can basically put the whole book together just by flipping through the Daily Beast and the Atlantic. But he was lots of stories in there about racism, just flagrant racism, transphobia, homophobia across the board. He was really into kind of othering gay people, like using the F word and just... Yeah,
that's
evaluating
so surprising.
people.
It's surprising that he's an entire bag of D's. I did not see that coming.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking news.
Shut it down. Of course, I knew you would have to comment on Ben Shapiro saying the U.S. military is being ruined because it's abandoning masculinity. And you said I would pay cash money to watch alleged manly man Ben Shapiro try to survive one day on Parris Island. I'd pay double if all the rest of the recruits were trans men. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if you were to line up Ben Shapiro with, let's say, a platoon of trans men, who's going to look like the girly girl in that scenario? It's going to be Ben Shapiro. I noticed he's starting a beard. He's starting like a patchy, like a 12-year-old boy's beard.
He's trying.
It's like Damone in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You see the mustache coming in? You see that, Rat? It's really coming in thick now. Yeah. Good luck, Ben. Good luck.
Yeah. So I don't know when this will be scheduled, January 6th, but on the documents case, I love you actually retweeted Maggie Haberman, who said, nothing of great urgency, no. Trump said when I asked him if he'd taken documents from the White House in an interview. back whenever, right? And you said, right. And yet he's risking prison and ignominy while lying to the FBI and engaging in an expensive legal battle in order to keep the documents, because they're nothing special. It's like the document version of the coffee boy excuse. They're a bunch of coffee boys, what I kept. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. He's just downplaying the content of what he stole, which, again, you have to ask the question. Why would he steal it in the first place if it was a big nothing burger in there? Why would he spend 4 years as president hauling boxes and files up to the residence so he could maniacally thumb through them like Oswald Cobblepot looking at all the names of the firstborn of Gotham? This is what Donald Trump was doing his entire time. That was for Travis.
I know. I love when you speak nerd.
I got turned on so like you don't even know Bob.
That's why we only shoot him from the waist up. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Good for me.
So he wouldn't have stole these documents if they were nothing. I mean, for crying out loud. Right. I mean, he's an idiot, but he's not that much of an idiot. So yes, of course, there's damaging, awful things in these documents. Why else would he have them?
Well, you are of the camp he's not running. You said his cash poor status is primarily why he won't run for president. Unless, of course, I don't know, he sold what's in those 43 missing those folders. I mean, it's just, it is always hard to know what's the next shoe to drop, right? I mean.
Right. Well, yeah, I still don't think he's running. I still don't think I don't think he can afford to do it. I mean, he has to survive while he's running. I mean, certainly people will donate money for his campaign, but he can't live off it. He can't repair his jet with that money. He can't use it. Already Save America PAC is in big trouble in terms of being investigated. And that there's a grand jury in Washington, D.C. looking into Save America PAC. So and you know what they did? They actually moved the money out of Save America PAC and they started another thing. So it's all the grift continues. And the grift goes as soon as you checkmate him in one place, he's just got to take his little awfulness and move it over to another bucket. It's ridiculous.
I have a birthday tomorrow, as we all know, Sean. I will be 41. Yes, correct.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Well, you said that your favorite people have birthdays. That was on Saturday. Mark Hamill and Hal Sparks, right?
Yeah,
right. Libra's
how did that happen?
I don't know.
It was a banner day for births. Yeah.
But you also you retweeted Bryan Adams' nostalgic ode to the summer of '69 came out in 1984. If it were released today, it would be waxing poetic about the good old summer of 2007, the year the iPhone was released. And you just said, "My God."
Oh my God! And by the way, the year that a radio personality named Stephanie Miller read one of my Huffington Post articles on Sirius XM, and I nearly drove off the road. I was like, "Oh my God! Oh, there it is! She did it!"
Travis tweeted. The only reason I know about that song because it was released in '84, 3 years after I was born. So even though it was about the summer of '69,
that's how you learned about the summer of '69.
That's how I heard about it. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have known.
Like, what's so big about '69?
Right? Yeah.
But observations like that about how the equivalent of the summer of '69 would be 2007 in relation to now. Another reason to shut down the internet. Thank you very much. I'm not evolved enough to hear that kind of news. So I don't, no one else has to be. So,
all right. Love you,
I'm
Bob.
I'm just trying to help. Love you too. Have a good ride.
You are a helper. You're a liberal helper. All right. I'll be thinking of you. I'll fall in your honor. Okay. Love you.
All right. No, don't do that.
No,
bye-bye.
No. All right.